today we are going to go to the opposite of numb, which I believe is being sensitive. Now, if you haven't been following my videos, I'm building a container from our trauma responses, from fight, flight, freeze, numb on one side, and then on the other side, the opposite, so that we have this container to contain ourselves, to contain our emotions, to contain, and not in a limiting way, in a structure way, because I believe what is happening is we don't have that other side to go to, or we're not even aware that there's another side to the coin of these trauma responses, and so we just go all the way and we stay stuck in those other, and all the way to the other side, to the extreme. And so I'm bringing it back, so whenever we feel numb, our bodies are actually saying that we're so sensitive that we have to numb, we had to numb in order to feel safe. And this one is very prevalent in my human body in this round. I'm gonna let myself feel that, because that's a deep truth of mine, of why I've numbed so much. And I understand intellectually, logically, that this is a part of my soul story, and that it was my body keeping me safe, because I'm not going to say we feel too much, because that is a fallacy. We feel what we're supposed to feel, and we're not taught as human beings how to be. And this is something that I'm learning and sharing with you. And I'm learning it in real time. I'm learning it with you as I record these. And I want to speak on how this is not the same as vulnerability. That's a little buzzword right now, is to be vulnerable. And I don't believe that that's a key. I believe that is a hole that we can, a pit that we can fall into, through expectations. So like, oh, if I'm vulnerable and show someone that I'm vulnerable, then I expect that the other person is also going to share that, and it's going to be vulnerable for me, to me, with me, and that is not the truth. And so we do need discernment, and we need boundaries, and we need these things of when we're sharing, because as a sensitive, I want my friends, my family, my loved ones to know everything about me, my ins and outs, my ups and downs, my all arounds, and that's not their job. And that's not reality, because they're never going to know all of my thoughts. Not that I'm just my thoughts, and not that I'm just my actions, and not that I'm just what I do or what I read or any of those things, but the true core of my being. And it's, can I just witness myself and that be enough to know that I see myself in my own awareness. And yes, humans need other humans. We are social creatures, and we need community, and we need this togetherness. And so now I feel activated, and so that's, I feel that that's okay. Like, here's numb and here's sensitive, and like in the middle is activated. And so my nervous system, it's been numb for a very long time, and like it's coming over to the middle. And so whenever it gets activated, it feels for the first time, like not for the first time, but it feels like feels like the first time since it's been over here in the numb for so long. And then I'm afraid to go all the way to being like sensitive, because that's too much. In the past, that's been too much, and I haven't been able to feel it because it's overwhelming, and then I shut down. And so I'm just gonna, I like this, like this metaphor of here's the middle, here's numb, here's activated, and here's sensitive. And so now I'm going to like work, I'm going to let myself feel activated, and then like work towards, and I'm not pushing myself, I'm inviting myself. There's a fine line difference of sitting with this activated, because like the activated, it feels like, it feels happy and joyous and like, oh, it's something new, it's exciting. And then my sensitive self doesn't trust that, because in the past, whenever I would feel those things, the story in my mind was, I can't feel that because it will get taken away from me, because I will be punished for feeling this. And that's not the truth anymore. It was the truth then, and it's not the truth now. And so this is like the whole rewiring, this is the whole reprogramming of our bodies, of our minds, of our beings. Because this is the program, is numb. Numb everything, escape everything, don't feel anything, because you're too sensitive. So I'm gonna just bring this back, and actually before I even go to sensitive, I'm gonna let myself sit in this like activated like happiness, because you know, like in shadow work and all of these other works of the guilt, the shame, the fear, the sadness, like we forget about the positive emotions, and we need the balance of all of them together to be whole, to be wholly human. But again, like I stated, whenever I get in those feelings, I go back, I put myself back in the sadness and the grief and the depression, so that I'm in control, so that I can feel this happiness, and I know that it's temporary, and I know it'll go away. And so I'm gonna take myself out of it before I'm taken out of it, so that I have control. Just gonna like shake that program, that energy off, because that's something, it's like a static all around me. And so I'm gonna just feel this static all around me, those stories of that, subconscious stories. And now that I've broken it up, I'm gonna just kind of flick it off. And so I'm just like grabbing those stories and like those words that I've told myself, that my nervous system has told myself. And then I'm just gonna wash it away. Whatever's left, I'm just gonna wash it away. Just imagine this water coming over me, those old stories that no longer resonate, the lies that I can't be happy, that if I'm happy, that it'll get taken away. And now I'm just tracking any sensations in my body. And not trying to change them, just being aware. And So that was just me giving space to let happiness in, to let happiness, like the container of happiness, the feeling, the joy of happiness, like, oh, there is room for you now here. There's room for you here now. Fascinating. And so I think that's like what sensitivity is being able to feel all of the emotions, but not be taken in by them, that they're all temporary, the goods and the bads, or the positives and the negatives, and none of them are defining. I love that because, well, I don't love that in English we say like I am sad, and we identify who I am as a person as the feeling, and this needs to be changed, and consciously, because in other languages, I know Spanish and I think Italian and maybe French, it is, they say like I have, like whenever it's translated, like I have sadness, and that's a big difference, because words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. And so whenever we identify these emotions, and I may have done it in this video unconsciously because we're programmed to have our to be so identified with our feelings as who we are, so that we can stay in this like guilt and shame loop, because oh, I'm ashamed, I feel shame for being sad or being angry or being whatever, and then I feel guilt for feeling that, and so it's just this like infinite loop that that we stay in. And actually it was really quite beautiful. I saw it in my body today, and it was at the base of my spine and like the pelvis, and there's like the holes of the hip sockets, and my spinal column was like it was like a tree, and it was just like these like looping of shame, guilt, shame, guilt, and it was just like that. And I feel like lower back pain and have sciatica, and so it was like these emotions, they're alive in our body because we personalize them, instead of, oh, this is just a part of being a human. And all of this like shame, all of this guilt, all of this fear that I've experienced whenever I was a child and was not taught to accept. Instead, I was punished for them, or I was beaten for them, or I was shamed for them, for having feelings. Our parents were not educated, and I'm very grateful that we're educated now, because we're teaching children how and allowing them to feel the range of their emotions, and not as a collective. I don't think we're not shaming them anymore.